There are strange things out there that seem to have no explanation. Sometimes they are conjured up by the darkest corners of our subconscious, but on occasion they dwell beyond the confines of our imagination. They may come from another realm, or out of the sky, or from beyond the grave. Once they set foot into our world, the line between dreams and reality becomes unclear. It's our job to investigate these reports and compile the Virginia Paranormal Case Files.
Yeah, so we're in the process of gutting it, rebuilding it, and every step of the way we've had strange things that have happened that are nothing too crazy, but just enough to make people would be concerned. Well, I don't know the full history. I just know I bought the property a couple months ago, and as we've been demolishing the house, certain things that have happened that have been kind of bizarre. Some of the electronic devices, like the cell phones, some of the workers have gone dead. Some of them have just, one guy actually, the whole LCD display blew up on it. A guy named Chris, who works for me. Just various things. We've seen people sweeping. There's a guy with looks like a pilgrim hat, believe it or not, sweeping on the second floor with lights in the background, and there are no lights up there that are no light bulbs. There might be light bulbs, but they weren't all the time. The back wall fell down by itself the other day, which could have been happening naturally, but we're not really sure what happened with that. Downstairs, we've had some incidents where I've had ice cold feelings on my back when I was down there washing clothes. And that's pretty much it, just random things. We've heard gunshots in the house. We're out in the field, it sounds like somebody's shooting a gun. The closer we get to the house, the closer you hear the gunshots. I will tell you that the neighbors have warned me that a lot of the families that have lived here, they've had problems with, the kids have talked about they're having friends that they're playing with, they're real comfortable. And the last family that lived here left for that reason. They said that their kids had friends. And when they asked them who the friends were, they couldn't tell them their names, but they were play buddies. And that was one of the things that obviously concerned the people before us. And that's where I do get weird feelings sometimes when you're downstairs. You get you feel like your temperature just changes completely. When you're mainly in the basement, I've experienced that. I haven't really experienced that upstairs much.
Have workers been affected at all?
They have. I had one worker that refused to come back. He said he gets headaches every time he enters the house, and he won't come back anywhere near the property.
So what we're going to do is try a little bit of a different approach for this. Since this house was used as a hospital during the Civil War, we feel if we go in immediately with a bunch of equipment, whatever spirits are there may shy away from us. So what we did is Will dressed up as a Confederate soldier, and I dressed up as a Union soldier, because we feel there may be soldiers from both sides here. If there's Confederate soldiers, maybe the Union officer or the Union outfit will stir them up, and likewise if there's Union soldiers, the Confederate outfit will stir them up. Or they'll be more willing to talk to us because we're dressed like them. So I'm going to take this voice recorder. I'm going to have it in my pocket, or I might even just keep it in my hand and just kind of keep it low so that it's not seen. And we're going to go in there and just try to strike up a conversation. See if we can get anyone that's in there to talk to us. And then kind of say, hey, we're going to be bringing some friends in. They have some new inventions. These inventions are used for communication. And then kind of pave the way for the team to come in, so we're not just going on full in with equipment.
Right. Yeah, so this is something different. We haven't done this before. This is something we've been talking about for a long time. Being able to go to a Civil War location, to be able to dress up and to see if we can get some sort of interaction from the spirits. I think that we'll actually get something tonight with this. I think it's actually going to turn out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm eager to try it, so let's head inside. And unfortunately, we won't be showing this part on the camera because we're only taking a recorder. But we'll definitely let you know what we catch in the recording. So Will and I just came outside of the house. We were in there for a good portion of time, and we were asking some pretty good questions, I think. I was mentioning that I was down from Pennsylvania. I mentioned that we burned down Richmond. He mentioned that he lost a lot of his friends Where'd you say he came from, Will? Do you remember?
Hampton.
Hampton?
Said he came from Hampton. They burned it down before they
when we
left.
left.
I offered them my coat as a blanket. I said I have some medical knowledge if you need help. Some various things. So we're going to review those recordings. We even took in a round, and I set it on the fireplace, and I said, I need more of these. Does anybody have more? We left it there while we went upstairs. Came back down. It was still there. What we're going to do now is Alex, we're going to walk through the house with him, and he's going to tell us what he feels kind of throughout the house. Would you want to describe kind of how you pick up on some things as you're walking around?
Sure, yeah. So I'm more or less what's known as an empath, so I'll get physical sensations. Sometimes I can get direct messages through, but mostly it's able to sort of tell low resolution ideas or sort of figures. I can tell if it's male, female, what they want, who they are, what their age is. It depends on the spirit. It depends on their ability and knowledge to communicate. So, yeah, I think first time I went through there, it seemed like that there was a lot of people. So, we'll see. I haven't gone through the whole house yet. My name's Alex. I'm not here to hurt you or anything. I'm just a friend. Seeing you around here, and I just wanted to make sure that you're all right, and that you're doing all right here. And a Lego piece. Interesting. I know it may be confusing to you. I don't know how much you know, but I was brought here just to help. And I know that may be confusing because not everybody can see you or hear you. Might be lonely sometimes, but I'm here. Someone just tickled my neck here. So we're just checking it out. Feel the temperature difference. I'm just a friendly guy here. I'm just here to talk to you. So sit down here if you don't mind. And we could chat for a little bit. If you want to sit down or talk to me. Man. Old man, white. So how did you come across this property? Is it something that was in your family? Are you a soldier? So people say they've seen you floating around here, so I guess they just wanted to check on you, make sure you're doing all right, holding up okay in here. So what's your name? Where are you from? Can we shake hands? It's nice to meet you. It's a nice place you got up here. I don't know if you go downstairs very often, but it's a very nice house. Can you give me some sort of sign? Can you knock? Can you say something really loud? Really scream it. You can. You can maybe knock on the wall. Can you do this? Use all your energy. So it wasn't much. The inkling that I get is that it was an older gentleman, maybe around 60 or 70, white gentleman. I mostly felt him pretty intensely on the second floor, right-hand side bedroom up there. So I got a few really close interactions. But besides those low resolution images that I sort of can see, that seems to be all I know. He doesn't really seem to want to do anything with anybody. I'm not sure, it doesn't feel like it's residual. It feels like someone who's actually there, but they're not really interested in talking. So we'll see, but hopefully we can get some good stuff coming up. So I invited him we're here to be friendly and help him out, and we respect him and his service and his life and his history, and we just want to make sure he's comfortable and that he's comfortable with the people that are coming here, and so they can be comfortable with him.
So we're gonna go ahead and do our baseline suite now. We've already taken some pictures of the place, but what we're gonna do is try to get basic reading of the house, try to see what sort of electromagnetic field is already there. That way, when we do the investigation, if we see any sort of spike go up, then we can know that, hey, maybe there is a spirit here drawing energy or manifesting in the room with us. So I'll be taking in the tri-field meter to detect that. Will also be taking in the K2 meter to see if he can detect that as well. Normally we would take in the carbon monoxide detector as well as the natural gas detector. However, this time we feel that it's not necessary, as this place won't have those sort of things, and we don't see that as being any kind of problem there. So we're just going to go ahead and check for the EMF fields.
It might throw off.
Can I ask you guys to ask the ghost a question for me?
Sure.
Ask them, are they pissed off at me for what I'm doing?
All right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We could do that.
And ask them, are they upset about what I'm doing here?
If you're upset with what is your name?
Jonathan.
If you're upset with what Jonathan's doing here today, can you please make it turn to yellow? Actually, the old guy's upstairs, right?
We could do that too once we get the recorder going, because then we'd pick it up, and we can ask it through the spirit box as well.
If we could sweep around, we can catch any spikes.
Yeah, we want to sweep around, make sure there's no spikes already here.
At 2.0, that would be significant.
I feel like there's something really heavy in here.
Yeah, man, I felt like tingling or something.
Did you see it?
What?
Your meter.
Oh, it's time to go.
Oh,
There's one
He's
yellow.
getting some spikes.
we're getting spikes up to almost below
Where you at right now?
forehead.
So you are angry with what he's doing here.
Maybe not. Maybe he's just present.
Better scare him off.
That's a big spider.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not walking any closer.
I think she's outside.
Oh, she's a little one.
Dude, I keep feeling like somebody's just running their hand down my back. Like it tingles.
Really?
Yeah.
No. What is over here? I haven't been over here yet.
We were in this room earlier. But apparently, forgot his name. But he said that this is where the old guy resides.
How would you know if they're trying to communicate with us?
By use of either the REM pod,
Uh-oh.
that spiking.
There we go.
There's somebody here. Let us know that somebody's here. We want to talk to you and find out what's going on. Are you upset that I've owned the house and I'm making changes? Let me know. Or are you going to have to leave?
Well, you're upset that I'm standing by your favorite window?
Would you mind repeating that question?
Are you upset that I'm standing by your favorite window? Can you go to yellow for yes?
Please, just real quick. I'm holding this meter. I'm the owner of the house. If you're here, you need to make yourself known.
I wouldn't be 100% on that. It's a positive, definitely something paranormal because it's been going off in that corner quite frequently.
If there's somebody here, make it very obvious that there's somebody here and let us know so we can communicate with you.
Can you make a noise?
Can you touch one of us? Can you make it cold? Give us some sign.
You getting cold over there, Will?
No, man. He's feeling small. He's touching me. Like something crawling on me.
What do these lights mean when they go off?
It's just showing the milligauss level. So the higher it goes, the more EMF field there is. However, what I like to do is if that goes up, keeping it next to this one, because this will show you digitally, and it'll show if maybe that one is either malfunctioning or it's not.
Okay, so you have
Quite
basically
right.
two of the same thing.
Right. You should be able to see a spike on both.
Is there anyone here with us? If it is, let the lights go off. Can you do it one more time, please? Thank you.
What I'm holding in my hand, if you talk into it, I can be able to hear you. So if it's easier for you to talk into this, let us hear your voice.
Walking outside.
What is your name?
Light up the lights again if you're still here, so we know you're here. Light the lights up on what I'm holding, please. We mean you no harm. You have to do it now so we know that you're here. That was good. Can you do it again? Thank you. I appreciate that. Can you talk to us through this device? What is your name?
Can you shake my hand? There goes that coldness again. My hand's tingling. Are you a Union soldier or a Confederate soldier?
We're standing outside of the house and we're about to go in, and I think what we're going to do is take the spirit box upstairs and start on the second floor. Now, the guy who owns the house has suggested that we only take in a couple of people at a time onto the second floor. So we'll send 2 up there, and maybe the rest of us will stay downstairs and see if we can do a little bit ourselves and figure out what we can get.
Hey, I'm Jeff. I was in here earlier. I was talking to you all, and I said that I was going to bring some people back in that have some strange devices, these new inventions, and these light up They give you a means to get your message across to us so we can take your message to the home line. We can take your message from the front line to the home side. This with the red light on it is what I was telling you, that will actually capture your voice. Just like a photograph captures your image, we can play back your voice. Anything you say on this, we can take it to your family, we can play it for them, and they can hear it if we can locate them. Could you please start by telling us your name? Who are we talking to?
Is that you messing with those lights?
This is one of those objects I was telling you about that will light up if you come near it.
That's right. Who is something?
Who is there? This is Linda. She also has some medical knowledge. Could you tell us where you're injured?
Say cold? Did you say you're cold?
We have blankets. I have a coat. Do you need it?
There's an object with a red light sitting at the top of the staircase. Can you go over to that and touch it? It's not going to hurt you. All you have to do is touch it and it will light up green or some other color. It really is going nuts.
Yeah, it sure is. So we finished up our spirit box session up in the upstairs of the house, and there were a couple possible responses that came through. We're going to have to go back and go over them. And also, the K2 meter was going crazy the whole time we were up there. We're not sure if there was something natural. We couldn't find any source of anything natural that would have caused that to go off. Okay, I'm Jeff.
I'm Linda.
I'm Alex.
And we'd like to know if there's anybody else here with us. If there is, could you please tell us your name? We were wondering, we were told that soldiers were brought in here when they were near death. Are there any wounded soldiers in here with us right now? Are you Union or Confederate? Aside from the 6 of us, give me a number to tell me how many others are in this barn with us right now. So we went out in the barn, we ran a little bit of a spirit box session. Nothing notable that came through at first glance, but now, without further ado, the basement is creepy to me, and I haven't even gone down there, but I heard there's a big black snake down in the basement.
Ooh.
So I'm not investigating the basement.
Yeah, I'll go down there with the danger noodle and see what we can get. So I'll take the voice recorder down there with me. I'll go in there by myself. We'll go lights out and see what we can get through the voice recorder.
And we could take that REM pod and have you set it down there too. You know, because how cool would it be if that... We haven't got any interaction with the REM pod either
No,
yet.
none
What
at
I'll
all.
do is I'll put the REM pod right as you come into the basement, right down those stairs, invite whatever is there to come down there with me. And I'll sit in the back corner and I'll see if that REM pod lights up.
Perfect.
And turns green.
Perfect.
Going down into the basement. Whenever you go into a basement, you always want to look up. Especially if that danger noodle is down here. You want to make sure that he's not on the ceiling, and he's not on the ground.
And that's why I'm not going down there, because of the danger noodle. And a danger noodle, for those of you that don't know, is a snake. And it's a rather large one. Working in that basement, so we're now sitting alone for a few seconds with the rent pod that I'm still holding.
What is this? It's like a cat.
Find a way to get that down there to him.
Some sort of fireplace is back here at one point.
Hey, Will.
All right.
Got the REM pod.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and get that REM pod. I was thinking we could probably put it right here, right at the entrance. And I'll sit right back here behind it.
You gonna close the door?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you those pictures.
All right. Let's look at this here. All right, Will, you ready for this?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay.
I'll see you on the other side.
Hopefully.
All right. It is now pitch black down here.
Okay.
I'm gonna come sit in here. Look at that, a bathtub just for me to sit in. All right. So I'll go ahead and get the voice recorder set up. My name is Will, and I would like to know if there's anyone in here with me. There's a red light in the middle of the room. If you come close to it and touch it, it will turn green. So could you come to that light and touch it for me? If you can't touch that light, what I want you to do is go ahead and make a sound like this. Can you make a knock for me? I want to know who I'm talking to. Did this used to be a hospital? And if it was, are you a soldier? Are you a Union soldier? Are you a Confederate? Or are you a farmer that owned this house? Why are you still here? Do you like what the new owner is doing to the house? Do you like the changes that he's making? Is there anything that you want to say to the owner of this property? Or do you feel that you're the owner of the property? Do you plan on staying here? Are you going to stay here long after this place is rebuilt and renovated? Are you going to be here and watch over the place? That was me. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for talking to me if you did. I'll go ahead and listen to that voice recorder and see if you said anything. But one last time, if you're able to, please touch that red light for me and make it turn green. Well, if you tried, thank you for trying. So I just got out of the basement. I put the REM pod in front of the door. However, the REM pod never went off. And honestly, it didn't feel like there was much of anything down there with me. I don't think I got a response. Well, I have to review the audio, of course. I asked for some knocking, no knocking. REM pod didn't go off. I didn't feel any sensations like we normally do. I didn't really feel like there was anything down there, but I did ask, are you here because of the renovations? Is that why you're kind of coming back? And I also asked, once the renovations are done, do you plan on staying here? Are you the owner of the house? What do you think of the new owner of the house? Just some questions like that, so that way we can be able to give back to the client to see if there's any feedback for them, something they can do for the spirit that happens to live there. So we'll have to see. We'll have to review the audio and see what we get.
We're here in what was the kitchen area, and to my left is a room where the floor is pretty much torn up and the wall just recently fell down. And this is the place where Alex was picking up on something in this room. So we're going to do a spirit box session in here, see if we can get any responses. I'm going to go ahead and start it up. I'm Jeff.
I'm Linda.
I'm Alex. Aside from the three of us, we'd like to know if there's anybody else here with us. If there is, could you please tell us your name? Was this house used as a hospital?
How many are you? How many of there are you?
What do you think of the condition of the house right now? Do you know if anyone is buried on the property?
There's a lot of them too.
There's a bonfire going on in the front yard. If you're cold, you may be able to go out there and get warm. Would you like to do that?
How do you feel about all these people being in your house?
Funny people? Really sound like to me. Funny people.
Do you think we're funny?
Welcome to the evidence room. So this was an interesting investigation, a really unique place, and it was great to take this approach. I gotta say, we didn't have any video of us actually in the house, and I wish we did. I wish we had cameras, but that would have kind of defeated the purpose, because we wanted to go in there dressed as Civil War soldiers,
Right.
to see if anybody would interact with us. No technology other than the recorder, which was concealed. We didn't get anything from that, though.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Very surprised. I thought sure that would stir something up. But it could be that there were no Civil War soldiers, spirits that were left behind in the house. It could be that this was just some average spirit, you know. You never know what's there and what could be lingering in a house that's that old.
It could have very well been. As Alex went through, he's an empath, and he was picking up on an older gentleman that seemed to linger upstairs. So that's a good possibility. Now, one thing I gotta say as far as what was going on while we were there, the K2 meter was going crazy
It was,
the whole time we were
yeah.
upstairs. And sometimes it seemed to be in direct response to questions.
Yeah,
Other times it seemed to go off at random, but it went off so much.
right.
And it's strange because there was no electricity upstairs.
No, none whatsoever.
The only electricity I believe he had in the house was down in the basement where the
Yes.
washer and dryer were.
Right.
So other than that, there was nothing up there that should have been setting that off. And if there
Right.
was something up there, it should have been going off steady.
Exactly.
Constantly. If you put it up next to an electrical socket, it's going to keep going
Keep
off.
going
It's not
off.
going to stop.
Right.
So something was pulsing. Something was fluctuating throughout those floors.
Yes.
Or there was something up there interacting with us.
Right.
We can't say for certain, though. We can't say that this is 100% evidence. It could have
Yes.
just been natural elements that were radiating throughout the house that were setting this off
Right.
because
right.
of the lack of direct responses.
Yeah, and that's another reason why we try to be very thorough, and we try to use various pieces of equipment in order to communicate with spirits, because you never know what something may be able to communicate through and what it may not be able to communicate through. Maybe something doesn't really understand the whole idea of audio, of recording its voice onto a digital voice recorder, but it knows it can manipulate these lights a little bit somehow. Or, it may be that it's one thing that doesn't really understand the spirit box or shies away from the spirit box, but it knows it can speak, and the digital voice recorder will pick up its voice. So it's very important for us to use various types of equipment in an investigation in effort to give anything, a chance to communicate in the way that it feels most comfortable and most capable of doing so.
Right, absolutely. One other thing, I think it would be cool to go back to that place on another night. I'm not sure we're going to have the opportunity to. It is under renovations. He's bringing
Yes.
it back to its original appearance. So I'm not sure we're going to have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
But there was a good bit of people there
There
that
were
night.
quite a few.
And you kind of wonder if that kind of smothers out the activity a little bit. If
Yes.
there's a lot of people around, if the spirits kind of shy away. It's
Yeah.
possible. But it was definitely
Yeah.
great to just see a house that old,
Right.
to be able to walk through it in its somewhat natural state,
Yes.
and to be able to investigate
Yeah.
a place that is tied in with history like that. Unfortunately, we have a lack of evidence.
Yes.
Not to say that it's not haunted, not to
Right.
say that it's haunted, but just to say that on that particular night, there wasn't a whole lot of activity that was apparent
Yes.
going on.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought for sure the Civil War uniforms would have done something.
Yes.
But we do have some investigations coming up in the near future where it may be worth giving it a try again and pulling out those uniforms, dusting them off,
Absolutely.
and maybe cleaning the mud off the boots, because
Still
I
gotta
know
do
you
that.
were
Yeah.
we were
Yep.
shin deep in mud. But
That's right.
yeah, and seeing if it might work in some other location.
Definitely a method we're going to bring back
Yes.
very, very soon. But thank you for watching this edition of Virginia Paranormal Case Files. Until next time, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Linda.
And remember, there's much more to see in the dark.